So these are all of my palettes we're going to declutter. Now I also have some Z palettes and some like shadows on top and just other singles that I need to go through and keep some. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that in this video or in another, but we'll see. I also have all of my cream shadows, single shadows, pigments, and even like eye primers that I need to go through as well. Again, we'll see if I do it in this video or in another, but those are all with me. But let's do our palettes. Now I do have some duos and things in here. We might as well just go through while we're at it. This is going to be hard. But I mean, this is insane. I know that I'm obviously a beauty vlogger, but this is more than what I need to keep, and it's kind of overwhelming me. So let's go through it. Let's start over here like I always do in my declutter videos. This is the Urban Decay Gwen Stefani palette. You guys, I'm going to get rid of this. I was so excited to buy it. I'd swatched it when I was in Chicago in a department store. I swatched it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I need it. I ended up buying it online, and some of the shadows are nice. And for me, I thought this is right up my alley. It's so neutral. But they just, I don't know. Like there's something about this palette. Like I feel like they're still good, but they're not like classic, like let's swatch some naked palette, shall we? Like they're not classic like Urban Decay typically is. Like look at the difference between those three and these two. These are so much more buttery, and you could swatch any of these colors and they'd be that good. So I was just kind of underwhelmed by this. And I know there was kind of mixed feelings about it on YouTube anyway. I'm just sad because I loved how many neutrals there were, and the packaging of course is beautiful, but I'm going to sell this on my Poshmark website. So I'll link that below. I'm going to get rid of that. Now, this is the Tartelette in Bloom palette. I'm going to keep, I just got this. I was so impressed. It has tons of matte shades and then 3 shimmer shades, and they're just so beautiful. Let me get like a matte one too. They're so pigmented. It's insane. I can't believe it's taken me this long to actually buy it. The Tartelette palette looked pretty too, but this is the Tartelette in Bloom, and I was so impressed with both the quality of the shadows, how well they blend, and the packaging. So this is like my new baby. Like I can't stop using it. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm sorry, I've got to like stretch my legs out here, so just deal with it. All right, this one, this is an M by Michelle Phan, palette, the Life Palette Mini in Valentine Life. I just wasn't impressed. It's not bad. I can't say that it's bad. This is like a bronzer. It's just not great. In fact, now that I'm swatching it some more, maybe it is kind of bad. I thought when I swatched it before, yeah, there were some good shades. Like this shade here was pretty nice. But pretty much all of the rest were like, that one's okay, the gold one. Just really wasn't impressed, and I don't use like lips in little pans like that. So I just wasn't impressed. I'm going to get rid of that one as well. So far 2 getting rid of, 1 keeping. This is the Too Faced Natural Eyes palette. This is an old favorite of mine. I've used it for years. I'm still going to use it. Definitely keeping. All right. Marc Jacobs palette in Lolita. I keep this because I'm like, oh, it's Marc Jacobs. It really was expensive. It was one of the first high-end products I've ever bought. And it really, I mean, it's beautiful. Oh my gosh, look at that. It really is beautiful. But I have shades like this everywhere, and I feel like I never use this. I could sell this and use that money to buy something I'll actually use. Whereas this, it's amazing, but I'm just never reaching for it. This middle shade is really, really glittery. So it just kind of gets fallout everywhere. I feel like you just can't do a lot of different looks with this, which is fine because it's not really meant to be like a huge all-inclusive palette. But the shadows are amazing except for that one. I don't really love this one either. It's kind of like it's kind of got like a duochrome to it, but it just doesn't really do much for me. So this one, I can't say that I regret buying it, but I kind of do because I felt like I was making myself use it because I spent so much money, but I just didn't love it. So I'm going to get rid of this one too. I never thought I would get rid of it, but I can't believe I'm doing it. Good job, me. All right, so now we're getting rid of 3 and keeping 2. This is a Tarina Tarantino Duo in Jasper, and I love these. They're so amazing. This is like a random find I found on Haute Look. And if you don't know what Haute Look is, you get like 50% off a bunch of high-end makeup, but the brands will only be on there for a couple days and then it's gone. And then it'll be back a month later. So like Urban Decay's been on there. What else has been on there? Stila, that's actually where I bought this Stila palette. I think Tarte has, I'm trying to think, just tons of high-end brands are on there all the time. So that's where I save a lot of money on a lot of this stuff. And then I don't feel as bad if I end up hating it because I didn't spend as much money. This is unbelievable. I've got to keep it. And see, I'm excited to get rid of a bunch of stuff so that I'll remember to use this because this is incredible. Next thing are these 3 Sonia Kashuk quads. I recently bought these for a Sonia Kashuk haul that I did. And, well, I didn't buy them for a haul. I bought them to try them out, but I mentioned them in a haul. This one I'm going to get rid of. It's just a bunch of, like, light shades. And I was so attracted to these really cool, like, glittery-ish ones. They're kind of metallic, but not really. And they're, like, thin and streaky, and really all you get on there is, like, glitter and nothing else. And then there's glitter all over your face. So all of these have one of those shades, and that's why I thought, oh, those are so cool. But they all do the same thing, so I literally can't use those shades. It's literally just glitter. Do you guys see that? It's so terrible. And I was so disappointed because I heard Tati talk about these, that they were like dupes for a Tom Ford quad and that the glitter shadows were amazing. And I was like, no, they aren't. And I trust Tati with everything. I was so disappointed. Anyway, so I know I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm trying to think, because these shadows are really pretty. Like, the actual other shadows are cool. Like, they're really, really nice. This one I really liked. This kind of like, well, of course it's not really showing up. Maybe they don't swatch well. They looked nice on the eyes. That one was beautiful. But I feel like they're so hit and miss. You know what I mean? Maybe I shouldn't keep any of them. So I think I'm just going to get rid of all of them. How disappointing. But I'm not ever using them because I don't want to deal with that glitter fallout, and so then I don't even, what's the point of even using them at all? All right, up here, these were really bad, you guys. These are the Revlon Not Just Nudes palette. I've done a video on them. I will show you. There are a couple shades that are okay, but they were pretty bad, you guys. And Revlon makes some decent shadows. It's not like, you know, they don't know what they're doing, but they're okay. But like that one's really splotchy. And so that was what I found with a lot of these, that it was just so hit and miss. I think this one was a nice one, this like maroon one. Yeah, that was nice. So some of them are okay. And I think if I remember right, this one had more good shadows than this one. This one is in Romantic Nudes. But I was just so unimpressed, so unimpressed. So I think I'm going to pass these on as well because they were just kind of like, I am getting rid of a lot. I'm only keeping 3 so far. This is awesome. All right, so this is these 2 Milani little palettes. This one's in Bare Necessities, and this one is in Must Have Naturals. And these are so beautiful. I love these shadows. Like, they're so well put together. If I remember right, all of them are pretty darn pigmented. Yeah, they really are. It's gorgeous. This one I know I love. This is the Must Have Naturals. This one I know I'm going to keep, especially for that shade. This one is also really good. Oh my gosh. Do you guys see this? They're just so pigmented and just gorgeous. Now I don't want to get rid of this one either. I feel like I don't need both though. You know what I mean? And I wish, I mean, I guess I could try and depot these, but I don't know if it's worth all that trouble. I love this, but I want like these 3 shades out of there. I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to think about this one. It's going to go kind of in the middle there. All right, Naked 2 Basics palette. I never, ever reach for this. Why keep it, right? I literally never reach for it. But it really is a good basics palette. I think I'm going to get rid of it. I cannot believe I'm getting rid of that. This is the Sonia Kashuk Ion Neutral Shimmer palette. I just recently got this as well. And this I was very impressed with. They don't have any of those weird chunky glittery shades that were in like the quads. And every single shade is ridiculous. Just gorgeous. Of course, I picked ones that don't show up as well on my skin tone, but they're just so beautiful. Let me get some of these darker colors. The only gripe I would have about this is that the packaging, I like the sleek, simple packaging, but a lot of the shadows are falling out. The glue is not like holding on, so I need to actually re-glue some of them in still. So I wish that hadn't happened, especially since this was still like $20 at Target. It wasn't like super cheap, but it really is awesome quality. So I'm gonna keep that one. You know what? I am gonna get rid of this Milani one. I don't need both. Goodbye. All right. See, that's how decisions are made, folks. So now we're on to these 3 CoverGirl palettes. These were very impressive palettes. Like, could not believe how amazing these were. Do I need all 3? Probably not. So let's kind of go through them one by one. This is the roses. They have roses, goldens, and nudes. Oh my gosh. This one was amazing because of this color right here. It's like this beautiful rose gold. And they do kick up a lot of powder, but you know, in some ways I don't really mind that. Oh my gosh. They're so pretty. Let's try one of the deeper ones. Oh my gosh. They're very, very pigmented, very, very soft. Let's try some of the goldens. These have a lot more of the like green tones too. I love that gold shade though. This one has some like glitter in it. I don't love that shade. But what I did like about this was this kind of mid-tone color there. It blends in with my skin tone perfectly, but it's a perfect blending color for me. It's a lot of greens. I don't wear tons of green, but I do like it from time to time. That one's nice too. Now let's try the nudes. That color is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that color is gorgeous. Let me swatch that some more. I love that. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. This might be the one, and it's got a mid-tone color in it. I think I'm going to keep nudes and get rid of goldens and roses. I like a lot of these, but this has more of what I like, and genuinely, I mean, I've got all of these colors in other palettes, so I don't really need all of them. So I'm going to keep nudes, get rid of goldens and roses. This is the Wet n Wild Au Naturel palette, and let's compare it to the Naked, shall we? It is, oh, so similar, isn't it? Like comically similar. And you can see they just like redid the order of them, but boy, they're similar. Like for example, this blue shade with this blue shade, boop, boop, same. This black shade with this black shade, boop, boop, pretty much the same. Let's see. The only one I don't see is like Dark Horse. I don't see anywhere in here. Toasted and Hustle, I don't really see. So like really those 3. But like, let's see. This would probably be Half Baked. Yeah, that would have to be. Boop, boop. Half Baked is still prettier. Sin. And this one. Yeah, again, Sin is just more pigmented too. Well, maybe this would be like Toasted. Or like, maybe it's like Sidecar. I don't know. Oh yeah, it looks like Sidecar. Those are so pretty. So it's just kind of interesting. Obviously, it's very similar. Maybe this is supposed to be like Buck, but Buck is much more warm, you can tell. Yeah. Do I really need this when I have the good one? Probably not. So I think I'll get rid of this as well. Well, and I might as well keep my Naked palette since you know I am, because I just recently pulled it out. I'd posted on Instagram about it and just started using it again because it's so amazing, and I feel like it's just been like left alone for so long. This is the Stila in the Light palette. I love this palette. I don't think they sell it anymore. But first of all, it has this color Bubbly and this color Kitten. Kitten's like a really famous one. Like one of the best shimmery colors ever. Same with Bubbly. Oh my gosh, but it's more golden there. And then it has this color Sunset, which is gorgeous. Like a deeper kind of bronzy color. And then it has these amazing like matte colors. Bliss is amazing. Sandstone is amazing. Of course, Bliss you can barely see. I think I've got like hard pan on that one. No, maybe not. They're just a cool combination of shadows. It's so beautiful. And then it's got this deep black as well. So that one I'm going to keep. I've loved that palette for a very long time. This is a Sonia Kashuk little one in Bare Necessities. Honestly, I don't know why I bought this. These are all like the same color. I just don't need it. It's gone. These two were terrible. it was from the Dollar Tree, and I do all those Dollar Tree hauls, so sometimes the products are incredible and it's like a shock. And I've tried some LA Color shadows that were really good, but these just were not. So, you know, the packaging is flimsy, which I can get beyond if the shadows are really good. Some of them are okay, like that, if I remember right, was pretty good. This green, it's not great, but it's all right. I think this one was okay too. Maybe not. They're just kind of splotchy. They don't really do much. So I'm definitely getting rid of these. Now, this row is going to be difficult. You know, I'm already keeping my original Naked over there. My Naked 2, I'm going to keep as well. I love all of these. I used to like the Naked 2 better, but I think I have realized the Naked 1 is the best. Because I feel like I could take a couple shadows out of the Naked 2 and leave the rest, because I love YDK. It is stupid gorgeous. Like, might be the prettiest shadow of all time. Really, truly. I love that it's got the matte black. That was a good addition. They both have half-baked. Chopper reminds me of Sidecar, where the glitter gets everywhere. I've heard they reformulated it since I bought these. They're beautiful. I love them both. I'm keeping them both. I'm probably going to keep both of these. This Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette I love. I can't believe I love it, because I thought when I looked at pictures, I'm like, ew. Like, I didn't like the combination of colors, I guess. But in the end, I loved it. They're ridiculously pigmented. I love Rum Raisin and Bonbon. Those are two that I use all the time. Butter Pecan is so pretty. It's this bigger, like, kind of vanilla color. They smell amazing. The regular Chocolate Bar palette I love as well. There's a lot of colors I don't use often, like Candied Violet, Black Forest Truffle. I don't actually, that looks really pretty though, now that I'm looking at it. But it's got this glitter, and that's the thing. When there's actual glitter in shadows, it almost always gets everywhere, no matter what primer I use. But Creme Brulee, Marzipan, these are like ridiculous colors. Ridiculous. So I'm keeping that as well. I don't know. I keep forcing myself to use this, and I never love it. I think they're amazing shadows, but I feel like there's nothing in it that I feel like I can't live without, and I think that's why I never end up reaching for it, because they really are gorgeous. But I feel like I'm always reaching for other ones over this, and I don't really know why, because it's got everything you could possibly ever need. I wish they would switch these two colors with each other so it flew more. Or actually, if they put this one here. Do you guys ever do that and put this one here where it like flows like light to dark? It makes me feel like things are in order. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this though. I don't want to get rid of it yet, because I feel like I need to give it more of a chance. I really haven't used much of these shades over here. They're beautiful, so I think I'm going to give it more of a chance before I just get rid of it. This is the L'Oreal La Palette, and I love this. A lot of people didn't. I don't think the shadows are like the best quality in the world, but I think they're still pretty good. And for some reason, every time I do a look with this, I end up getting a lot of compliments. Now, these like lighter shades are not very good, but these like mid-tone matte colors are really, really good. And I think they're really powdery though. That's why I've kept this for so long, because I really do love it. So I think I'm going to continue to keep that. Okay, so over here is everything that I'm getting rid of, and over here is everything I'm keeping. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 that I'm getting rid of. And 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. This isn't really a palette, but 13 that I'm keeping. So I got rid of more than what I'm keeping, which is always awesome. And I feel like I can pass these on to sisters and friends and coworkers that'll actually use them. Some of the stuff I'll sell on my Poshmark site, like I said, like probably these two and the Marc Jacobs one. We'll see if I sell anything else. The rest I might get rid of. But keep your eyes tuned on there for when I eventually sell these. But yeah, I think not too bad. I'm pretty proud of myself getting rid of a lot of things that I've had for a long time that I spent money on, but I really don't need to keep at this point.